We're live. Good day,
We
folks.
are live.
Right on, right
Yeah.
on. Whose screen are we on right
We're
now?
live. Good day. It is on mine right now. I have it on Cardano,
Okay,
just to
right on.
show what the breakout is looking like. How's everyone doing?
Yeah,
How's
yeah.
We got a bunch of people here,
So look, man, I'm not gonna mince words here. I'm selling my kidney. I'm taking out a loan. I'm chasing this
just like
pump,
that,
man.
just like
I'm
that.
chasing this pump, folks. It broke out. It's a guaranteed 100x from here, guaranteed.
This is being recorded, by the way, so watch out. Can I get
in
sued
case,
tomorrow, man?
in case no one can tell, that
Hello,
was an attempt
people.
at humor.
Anouk.
Whoa,
Sorry if I'm butchering your
don't be
name.
saying that, man. You can't be saying that on the live
Cat, pass it to Wiener. We out here for sure. Gerber, Adonic, Stathis. Hi everybody. So yeah, I guess we can start with Cardano if that's the case. We have 31 people here.
Sure. Why don't we maybe briefly describe what we're hoping to achieve with this
Nah,
live
nah,
stream?
nah, nah, nah. Let's not do that.
So, folks, for those of you tuning in, thank you. Welcome, welcome. We're hoping to go over Cardano and VeChain. Lots of interesting stuff going on. We're seeing breakouts. We're going to kind of do a market update for you guys. Also, run through some coins on our radar, some coins that our Discord members have been asking for.
Yes,
So,
sir.
yeah, folks, if you have any suggestions, leave them down in the comments below. So, where do you want to start off here, man?
Let's
Cardano's
just
blowing up.
start off with breaking down what's going on, man. I
So
think that's
is it time to FOMO? Are we FOMOing? Are we FOMOing
look,
or
man.
funny?
Every second is a good time to FOMO. So that's besides the point. I think the major thing right now, we've been looking at Cardano, man, for a while now. It's been a while for Cardano in this $1.50 region, and yesterday we broke above it. Even if we're looking at the 4 hour to see exactly when, looks like 4 in the morning here. But look at this, like this is it's pretty good. We've been looking at it ever since it was down here and just consolidating sideways for March 26th. But I know it was a bit hard for us to kind of see exactly where the support line and is on the bottom, so we can project what traders, I guess, would be with the level of the take profit level would be at. And yeah, we broke that $1.50, closed above it yesterday comfortably. Today is very volatile, I would say. It's ranging between the $1.75 all the way down to the $1.68. So a lot going on, but I think there's a bit of a retracement. But overall, in terms of those targets, do you want to tell these guys what targets we're looking at? Or
Yes, folks. Yes, if you want to go over to my screen here. So we have some potential bullish price targets for Cardano here. Now, look, when we're saying should we FOMO, we're kidding. We're not, actually suggesting FOMO. Never chase green candles. I personally love chasing red candles and fear. So we were in this consolidation pattern for quite some time, really since maybe February. We've been consolidating within this range, kind of a bit of an ascending triangle here. There's a lot of different ways you can call this. But if we take the conservative scenario, the height of our most narrow ascending triangle, move it to the breakout point, that could take Cardano
the
above
$100? No.
above $2, maybe $2.10. Maybe more of an optimistic scenario as we take the height of our widest ascending triangle here, move that to the breakout point, and that brings us to $2.40.
Yes,
So
sir.
ultimately, for me, I think $2.10 to $2.40 is probably where the next major impulse takes us. Now, will that be a straight line up? Probably not. But could we reach there? Maybe.
Yes, I think so. I think that's what the majority of them are, because Cardano's been such a slow mover and it just whips up and down a lot basically. And now we're seeing that it's finally above the $1.50. That's what everybody's been waiting for. So I think a possible scenario here for us, man, something that I'm comfortable with, because it looks like even on the 4 hour, I'm not sure if you checked the 4 hour or not, but it actually went up and came back down to retest. And now, is this enough of a retracement? I would still maybe wait for a bit, but I bet you on it. There's a lot of, like, even if we go to the daily here, maybe let's just look at the volume quick. Look at this volume yesterday. Volume just whipped out. We haven't had this kind of volume ever since the beginning. It says all the way back here, but literally at that breakout,
This is good volume.
it's an
Yeah.
amazing. And right now we're even way above it, But obviously we're struggling. There's a lot of resistance is gonna happen. But maybe if we look at the 4 hour here, looks like it did already retrace back down, man. So the train is already moving. I think I don't want to say that it's getting down already, but it's already making higher lows. It came down to retest the level already, and now we keep pushing up. So In terms of support along the way there, we know those short EMAs are always hugging the price action. I think it looks like the 12 wants to hug it properly, and overall maybe the 21. So I'm just gonna continue to go up and up, find that support for a bit, and continue to push up. So yeah, man. What do you think besides that? Because this is even if you're looking at the 1 hour, if we go back a bit here, again, more and more volume is increasing. So I think that retracement happened already, and I think the train was already moving up for Cardano.
Yeah, well, I think there's a few things we can keep in mind here. Although, hey, JM saying getting on that VIP Discord today with the paycheck, FOMO in the VIP, please, or peoples. Yeah, man, hey, man, that's awesome. Welcome. Looking forward to seeing you in there. Lots of gorgeous stuff to discuss here. So, because I like you guys so much, I want to bring you guys something that needs to be on all our radars to understand what the next move is. And I think following the pairings, the Bitcoin pairing, I keep mentioning this because it's important. Following the Bitcoin or the Cardano Bitcoin pairing will be very important for gauging whether we see that continuation, whether we see a pullback here. Because look, we were forming this wedge on the Cardano Bitcoin pairing, broke out bullishly. More of a macro wedge, broke out bullishly. But we're kind of finding rejection off these upper levels here. So if we continue to find rejection off these upper levels, and if we start to see Cardano Bitcoin start to go down, then hey, maybe that's our cue that the US dollar value of Cardano maybe consolidates some more, maybe falls back down, retest the breakout point. Now, if we continue to shoot up here and make a new higher high past this region, then that's our cue that I think Cardano is ready to see a further bullish continuation. Now, if we zoom out here, I would want us to keep in mind that I do expect to find resistance around the zone between kind of the, again, I'm not going to count all these decimals.
You gotta.
But between kind of the 4 and the 4-5 region here, fully just based off these candle bodies and wicks over here. So if we zoom in to the previous cycle's price action here, we can see that these candle bodies got rejected off the same region, and we have some wicks over here getting rejected off the same region here. So this gives us a resistance zone that we're likely, or that we could anticipate potential pause and rejection off of if we continue to impulse up here. So in the short term, if we break above this high, I think we're going here. If we find rejection off here, I think we're falling back down to retest this breakout point. So whatever way we react off now, whatever direction we choose right here in the short term is going to be kind of our signal as to what direction Cardano will pick next. So follow the Cardano Bitcoin pairing because we're right up against resistance. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how that we play off that.
Definitely, no, 100%, guys. If you're liking this so far, if you can do us favors, obviously, and like the video, it definitely helps out the engagement, and it also helps us and other people to see what's going on right now. But overall, I think something that we need to always keep in mind is definitely Bitcoin. Whatever Bitcoin is doing today is extremely crucial for the whole market. Obviously, a lot of things are up right now. A lot of altcoins are up right now. There's a bunch of activity in the market. But at the end of the day, we always say the same thing. You got to take as many data points of the market as much as possible. Looked at the Bitcoin pairing. We're looking at the chart itself for Cardano. But anything with Bitcoin right now is any movement that Bitcoin has is extremely important for the next movement. And if we're talking about Cardano, then definitely for Cardano. But right now we're above the 50 daily moving average. If you've watched our videos, you know exactly what that is and how important it is. But Bitcoin has been trying to push up, right? It's been trying to push up. It's been trying to push past this resistance overall, this past high, and we keep knocking at it, more and more. Right now it looks like we're forming some sort of a lower high as we move forward here on the 4 hour. Volume is a bit decreasing, we're getting squeezed here sometime soon at the apex, and it's an ascending triangle, so you can tell how buyers are a bit more aggressive and sellers are coming in at the same region over here in this zone. And yeah, we just need to keep that in mind, guys, because we can say all these things we want to say about Cardano, but if something happens with Bitcoin maybe just continues to fall back down here, I think that's going to affect everything. It will cause fear and panic in the market enough to actually have Cardano's technicals not make sense whatsoever. You can start seeing it just drop back down here. So always keep that in mind. But for Bitcoin, that's what we think should happen right now. We need to see, we're reaching, as more time passes by here, guys. We need to see Bitcoin fall back down if it does want to fall down, and find the higher high for sure. And once we get to this point over here, the expected outcome for this is Bitcoin actually breaking above, coming back down to retest these levels, and actually shooting back up. And if that happens, then I think we're gonna have an explosion with the altcoins still. So yeah, that's what it is. I mean, like, but that's the Cardano's looking amazing. These are the targets we're looking at so far. Retracement happened already, and yes, sir.
Yeah, well, look, I got a few things to say here. I want to piggyback on what you brought up here, which is it is very important to follow Bitcoin. Again, folks, even if you don't like Bitcoin, don't own much Bitcoin, you want to know what it's doing because it affects the rest of the altcoin market. Just like you're saying, Cardano could be doing its own thing, but if Bitcoin decides to rip up 10K or just crash 10K, that's going to affect the altcoins. It's going to affect Cardano. So we need to understand what it's doing. It's going to affect the Bitcoin pairing. It's going to affect the dominance. It's going to affect everything. And it's going to spook the market. So right now, I think you're right. We are forming a bit of an ascending triangle here. All right. We have this. Yeah, this is a daily. So we have maybe, I mean, 5 days, a week max before we break out of this ascending triangle. Currently, we are above that 50 SMA. That is very good to see. And we are seeing lower highs in the short term, but we're seeing higher lows macro. So ultimately, for Bitcoin to be healthy, I want to see us remain above that 50 SMA. If we start to break below that and hold below that, that's our cue that the likelihood of breaking down increases. And now I don't mean to spook you guys, but I do want to make this very clear. If we do break down from the 50 SMA and this ascending triangle here, then I think kind of our next stop here is around 50K. But ultimately, oh, never mind. Ultimately, I think we could retest this 42K region here. We have a nice, this is where some price action was in this wick here. So I think 42 and 50 are the regions which we could Bitcoin could fall back down to if we correct.
Definitely. No, I think so for sure. We got one of those questions here. What are we saying here? Do you think Cardano will consolidate around the $1.50, $1.60? I would like to buy more around that area. So that's what we're looking at right now. I think it already consolidated back to the $1.50 region. So that's typically, like, from just technical standpoint, I guess. Traders definitely affect the movement of this whole thing. Investors just put their money and leave, but traders actually decide how the market's moving and where we stop and all that. And that's what we're saying, because this thing is extremely volatile, and you can see how it ranges a lot. Let's say between today, it was actually ranging, what did we go from all the way down to $1.52. All the way up to the $1.75, so 15% range, which is pretty significant. But you can see that everybody's been looking at Cardano and the at the $1.50 zone. So did we retrace back down to the $1.50? I think we did. On the 4-hour chart, I think we did. On the daily, it's just whatever. It's just indecisive candle at the moment, but we still have 7 hours to go for the day. Is it possible for it to continue to retrace back down? It could, but I think that when traders look at this and look at a breakout above this line over here, we'd look for a pump with a good volume, then retracement back down, because we need to prove that this level now became a resistance, because ever since February 27th here, it's been acting as a resistance. Now we need to prove it's a support, and it looks like we already did come back down. So it can still, if you're looking at the MACD, we're losing momentum. Everything here still wants to kind of go down in terms of the 4-hour, but I think that probably already happened. So that's what I think about it.
Yeah, and another thing I think we can take a look at for trying to gauge whether the alt market as a whole is going to tank or pump is Bitcoin dominance. Because look, Bitcoin dominance has been doing nothing but going down. If we start to see Bitcoin dominance start to consolidate, maybe at kind of 40-45% consolidate, and start to make moves to the upside, that's our cue that the market may begin to shift from alts to Bitcoin. Because again, whether Bitcoin corrects now or does whatever it consolidates, I think eventually, whether it's a week, a month, a quarter from now, Bitcoin is going to start making moves to the upside. It's going to rip up either 10K or up or 10K down within the near future here. And either of those scenarios is likely to place the dampers and the pause button on the altcoins pumping. So don't let that throw you off guard. And ultimately, I think in terms of how do you prepare for that, I would say just be in coins you want to hold for long term. being coins that you think have solid fundamentals.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, and that's the thing also as well. I think it all also depends on your buy power, right? Like how, in terms of this is obviously again not a financial advice. This is obviously something that you'd 100% need to be confident in and do your research on it. But the way I don't know, like I don't know how. What do you think? Because usually the way I would think about it, look, if you think that like don't just put all your money in. Like I wouldn't just put all my money in right away. Usually you want to see like just because you want to kind of average it out, dollar cost average it, and wait for some sort of dips to come up. And you also want to make sure that as you are putting money into this, you also are thinking about the next dip to come. So at the next, so you need to have enough buying power to continue to average this in. And if you put 100% right now, everything falls down 10%. And we know how volatile this market is. So always think about your buying power, what you're interested in, and see how you can slowly have some sort of a plan to, as this thing goes down. I understand it might go down, but you know what, I'm just gonna put 10 or 15% of my total investment, whatever I'm trying to put in, and then if it goes down below, perfect, and I'll just wait on those dips, right? So there's always some sort of risk management for this whole volatility that you can always keep in mind and just basically act on, so you're not scared, or just be a bit more confident with your movements like that.
Yeah, and look, at one point here, again, I think there is going to be that market shift, and the approach I'm taking is, look, I'm in a lot of altcoins, right?
A lot.
The altcoins I'm comfortable holding through dips and through
Yeah.
the long term. And you got to ask yourself that question. If the coin I'm in drops, 20, 30, 40, 50%, am I okay with that? That's something you got to ask yourself. So I'm sure for a lot of people, the answer is yes. For me, it's yes. Cardano, if it drops 30%, I'm not selling. I don't care. Right. But maybe for some other people,
Yeah.
they don't feel that way. But again, if Bitcoin moves quickly to the upside or the downside, it's going to affect the altcoin market. So we just want to brace you guys for that.
Yeah.
So
And especially if you're new, I think, if they're new and you just started, it's always scary to see your money just drop like 10, 20% within, like half a day or whatever. But anyways, what's next here, man?
Let's talk about VeChain, folks.
Yes, sir.
VeChain is breaking out bullishly from a descending triangle here. Okay. Although we're continually getting rejected off this resistance zone at about kind of 24-ish cents here, 24 and a half cents. We're getting rejected off the zone. There's a peak in volume around this region here. And if we zoom in price action, we can see that we kind of got wicked off these regions beforehand. So this is a reactive zone historically. There's a bit of volume here that we're now below. So this is a resistance range above us here. So yeah, I think VeChain is just kind of gonna chill and consolidate until we get above this. If that's
I agree. Where's VeChain going here? Let me try to switch my screen, man. Boom, perfect. So yeah, no, this is what we're looking at. We clearly see the breakout, and overall, if you're watching yesterday, we were talking about this. Brendan at the end of the day was also talking about it. And we can see that VeChain has been stuck in this kind of descending triangle. And at the breakout here, we had some sort of a range that we've been stuck in ever since here. So even if I extend this a bit, just so you see the extent of the range, somewhere between the 21 cents all the way back down to the closing of these candles, the 19.7 cents. And so this wasn't the 21, was it? Yes, it was. So yeah, yesterday we actually broke out of this horizontal range, and we broke out of this right here because VeChain was supposed to just continue to come back down. You can see how we reacted off of here. Maybe the 4 hour would show you that a bit more specifically. But 1, 2, 3, 4, and now VeChain over on this side. I have so many lines. VeChain over on this side.
No, you don't. I have a lot.
Oh my God, Brendan, I have so many lines on my screen. It's crazy. But yeah, VeChain was supposed to go down here this way and continue to go down, but it didn't, right? It didn't, and it broke out. And this was the actual breakout point, I would say. It would break out of this line overall, this resistance, but I would also wait on a breakout above this. And looking at the 4 hour, we closed above it nicely. Now we're seeing some sort of retracement. I can see it maybe going back down all the way to the 22.4 region, $22.5 region.
Yo, stop spreading FUD.
I'm not spreading FUD. I'm just saying this is an opportunity, because when we say retracement, we're not saying this is falling to, we're saying, this could be an
Panic.
opportunity for you, it's a sale price because this thing is going up. The only thing I would say on the daily, I don't know if you agree with me or not, but some sort of, that's some real FUD, what I'm about to say. You can see here that the volume is not really that crazy yet. Obviously, relatively speaking, is the more than
It's
average.
picking up though.
It
It's
is
picking up.
picking up definitely. So I don't think buyers came in yet, guys. That's the main thing I'm trying to say. I don't think buyers came in yet. I think buyers are looking for that dip again. We know, just like Brendan said, there's a level that we're reaching right now, somewhere close to 24. You can see it on the VPVR trading activity. A lot of trading activity here. You can see how those days here. We got a lot to go through still, right? But I think that the real buying power didn't come in yet, just because I don't see a crazy amount of volume. So it is above average. It's been picking up, but I think once we start seeing VeChain actually move above to the 25, I think people are just gonna hop on this train, just push it all the way up. So even MACD, if you're looking at the MACD, we've been gaining that power, right? Ever since here, it's been upticking soon enough here. Depending how the day closes and tomorrow opens, we're gonna have a positive momentum. So the buy pressure, we're gonna be on the positive side, and we still have so much to go on the RSI to the top, and the stochastic RSI is comfortably getting to the top. So technicals look amazing. For me, I'm just waiting on a little bit more volume, just a bit more volume, just to kind of confirm everything.
That's very interesting that you say that, because it works perfectly with my next point here, which I think buyers are waiting for confirmation. I think the market wants confirmation that this trend will be sustained, and I think a lot of people realize the precarious state of the market right now. So a few things here. I think VeChain is within this tight range, which I will now describe. So we're up against resistance here at about 24 and a half cents. Okay, kind of this zone, but also you have strong support below us. See, these two peaks in price action here will now act as support now that we are above it. Let's see here how 3 times this area acted as resistance. Now that we're above it, we fell back down to retest it and held it as support. So it's confirmation that this area is relevant, and it will now act as support. This area is now will now act as resistance. So if we can get above that 24 and a half cent, good sign. But if we go to the daily here, and if we can get above specifically this region here, kind of 25 and a half cents, then I think we're really, really flying even past all-time highs. Because look, we can see how these candle bodies on the daily were fully reacting off the same region. So the market was not confident in this area here. So if we get above this area, that would mark a shift in a new change in price structure, and I think would serve as further confirmation of this bullish trend reversal, and therefore could lead us to seeing bullish continuation.
There we go. So guys, if you like the analysis so far, then if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you subscribe. We're planning on starting doing this every single day. We've been doing it. Just make sure you stay updated with the market and all that. Discord, if you're not a Discord member, also join that as well. And if you like this so far, make sure you like the video, just so it helps out with the engagement, everything, and it helps out with the channel overall. But what else do you want to talk about here? Are we done with VeChain or what?
Maybe for now, but there are a few things here. So we did have a few suggestions from our Discord group.
Yes.
So why don't I have that pulled up on my end. Now, if we go to the small caps here, okay. Number one, one coin that was just that we take a look at is PCX. Now, I've had a horrible time trying to chart this thing. There's no place where you can chart this. There's literally nowhere. I don't know what's going on with Chainx PCX. Get on top of your shit. I can't chart it anywhere. So unfortunately, I think we're just gonna have to go with kind of CoinGecko for the moment here. So a few things to note here. I think kind of obviously $10 is a nice support level, this range here. Honestly, man, it feels a bit silly trying to do TA on this, because there's nothing I can do here. What I can say is that I do like the fundamentals of this project. So PCX is a bridge to move Bitcoin into the Polkadot ecosystem, with the auctions coming up for slots for the Polkadot ecosystem. I think Chainx has a good chance of getting one of those slots. and becoming interoperable within the Polkadot ecosystem. So I'm waiting out on those bullish catalysts to start taking some profits on some stuff. So that's what I'm waiting out for with PCX here. Do you have anything that jumps out to you with this thing, man?
No, if you can just go back down because I don't have the chart. If you can just let's just take a quick look. Yeah, looks like that $10 came back down to retest and now it's pushing back up. To be honest, I think that's the main thing. That's the main takeaway. It jumps back down, went all the way up to the $15, $17. It's been downtrending ever since, and now it just went back down to retest the $10 and it's pushing back up. So I think just a conservative number. It looks like it's been uptrending. You're saying it's a bunch of, I don't really know much about it, but looks like there's a bunch of optimistic, things coming up for us. So conservatively, $15 would be something else. But then again, we can't really chart this properly. So
yeah. Now, one thing I could do is I could probably clearly draw a trend line here. We're forming a bit of a descending triangle. So if we make a new higher high, then we'll probably see bullish continuation. Now, again, folks, I hate doing this because I can't. We can't do a whole lot of charting for you guys.
yes,
unfortunately, we're a bit handicapped when talking about this thing.
But okay. So let's talk about maybe something that I saw one of the questions here. They're asking. Let's see, where is it at? Sushi swap. No, might go. Yeah, so how do you get that graph on the right side of TradeView in green and red? So that's basically the VPVR. So if you go to TradingView and search for indicators here, you'll see what where it is. So we'll just show you real quick. So this is it basically, and you just go to indicators and you will search for VPVR, and that's pretty much visible range. So
you also need paid TradingView. It's not free.
Is it?
Yeah.
So never mind. You need a paid view here.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, next thing looks like we just finished Cardano, VeChain. We got a couple of other things from the Discord here. I know you had that list, so if we can start as well from your end.
Yes.
Lena.
So another project I like and I own is called Linear Lena here. So Lena is a derivatives play, okay, kind of like a lower cap competitor to synthetics, another project I like. Now, unfortunately, this thing has been doing nothing but going down, but we broke out bullishly. We're kind of making a high here. Hopefully, we can make a lower high. I think with Lena, I think we just need to get above and hold above 13 cents. Once we get above 13 cents, and we can see how historically this was a reactive zone as well, I think we're ready to start making moves to the upside. See here, 2 times we got rejected off the same region here. So holding above 13 cents, I think, is that key inflection point, especially if we can hold that and make a new higher high above this, then I think we're definitely ready to start making moves to the upside. Also, we have the 618 Fibonacci retracement, a key level right above us acting as resistance. So if we get above this range, get above 13 cents, I think this thing's ready to definitely start moving up. I think our next impulse would be about 16 and a half cents if we get above 13.
Are we so let me know if I'm looking at the right chart here, Brad. This is Lena USD on DEX tools, I guess. But the only thing I would say, if you can see it from your end, something just to keep in mind as well is that yesterday's increased sell volume on it.
Right.
Just something to keep in mind as well. So you're right. It has to maintain this level because some of these technicals kind of look a bit skewed. You can see that there's a lot of selling happening basically yesterday, even though the candle is pretty, it's not a lot movement in the price action, but the volume is really high up compared, relatively speaking. And you can see that there's probably a lot of resistance right now, so it is pretty important, like you're saying, to break above this level. Our stochastic RSI wants to go down. RSI itself has been down ticking, and also MACD on the daily has been down ticking. So that level definitely has to hold. And I think if it breaks that, then we could be really pushing back up to the 19 or those higher levels.
Yeah, and a few things to know here. This thing is listed on Binance. And look, I like these derivatives plays because, if crypto's to mature, the institutional players and the institutional money is, start trickling in over time. They're going to bring in their billions. They're going to bring in their trillions. Eventually, they're going to start choosing exchanges and these, derivatives exchanges in which to trade on. And so I'm trying to kind of spread my money out through different derivatives plays that I think have good fundamentals and good shots of being winners in the niche.
Right.
And I think Lena is definitely a good contender. So just something to keep on your radar. This is a long-term hold for me. Yeah. I really don't care if this thing just pumps or dumps. I'm holding this thing for the next 6 months regardless.
what a loyal investor. That's what you need.
Yeah, so that's my thoughts on that. You cool with moving on to the next one here?
Yeah, let's go to the next one.
So, okay, I want to talk about L-Pool here. All right, so L-Pool is a project I think I started talking about when it was around $20, I think. So this is essentially a launch pad where you get guaranteed allocation. And this thing has been doing nothing but going down. And so there's a few things. This chart looks weak, man. It looks bad.
It actually does, because it's broke below that.
All support, yeah, this is bad. Basically, our next support level is kind of at like $5, right?
Yeah.
So, but just based off fibs, but so this doesn't look good. But let's kind of examine some fundamentals, because the reason why I think L-Pool has been doing nothing but going down is because they're currently distributing their token. They've been releasing supply. They've been releasing the token slowly through staking. So what's going on with this project is it's a launch pad. I own this thing. I'm trying to participate. But they have these staking pools where you can stake other coins and earn L-Pool. And there's been high yield on those staking pools. And that's how they've been distributing their project. So over the last 2 or so months, there's been high yield of L-Pool. So people are taking their L-Pool and they're selling it because it's just pure profits for a lot of people. But their distribution ends soon. I believe it's in roughly 30 some odd days, 30 to 40 days, their staking ends. So soon, every day, there's less and less supply being added. The distribution will end soon, within a month or two or so. And they've only started launching projects. So bullish catalysts ahead, distribution ending soon. Not financial advice, but I'm holding on to this thing long term. The chart looks weak. It doesn't look good. I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
Damn. There you go.
That's my thoughts with this thing.
You fully summed it. I would say let's maybe take if you're good. I don't have really anything to say on this. Looks like you really nailed it down. But maybe we talk about whatever we talked about from yesterday. Maybe Decenter and also Dex Tools' own token. I think has been looking pretty impressive. So maybe we can start with that.
Sure.
And, yeah.
Although if you don't mind, we have one last suggestion from the Discord group. Do you want to just
let's do that.
Get that out of the way and then we can.
Yes.
All right. So, man, have you taken a look at Band recently? Like,
I haven't at all, actually.
No. Okay. So, for those who don't know, Band Protocol is an Oracle play, much like Chainlink. Band is the second largest Oracle on the Ethereum ecosystem. It's kind of like the Pepsi to Chainlink's Coca-Cola. All right. And so this price structure looks very interesting on several fronts here. So Band looked like a much earlier version of Chainlink, so that's why I liked it. Now I believe we're forming this large, kind of ascending triangle formation here, and so ultimately I think just to even simplify things, folks, we have a fib level here, kind of $20. So if we get above $21, I think we're gonna retest all-time highs here at 23.40, and once we get above 23.40, I think this is flying because there's no price history, no resistance. And our next Fibonacci extension level is at $32. So key resistance to look out for is $21 and then kind of 23.40. Those are the two most important levels that we need to get above if we want Band to see bullish continuation. That's kind of my main takeaways with this thing. Do you have anything to add? Anything?
I'm looking at the daily chart here. Overall with I think you're right. So if that level is specifically important, somewhere $19-20, it looks like it could have another leg down. I would say we still haven't really. We only touched that top resistance a couple of times. Maybe I'll just share my screen quick. But sure. I'm just looking at the daily here. It looks like we've been uptrending for the past since April 25th. We've been going up. There's also a bit of a range that we can actually take a look at as well here. So let me just delete all of this right here quick. But just looking at the indicators specifically, MACD has been, has been on the up and coming, uptrending. Yesterday and today, it's a bit less of a buy power, which is understandable. We are reaching a level here. If I just add the VPVR quick. It looks like it's a lot going on, but we're actually above the heart bar. We're above the 16 all the way to the 17.5 region, so that's pretty good. But still, the volume is also maybe needs a bit of we need a bit more buyers to start jumping in, because we've been knocking against this guy here. It looks like we will. We do have some bit of power to actually break above it, but overall, I can see this kind of doing something like this here. So soon enough, you're right, at the apex, it can make that movement upwards. But did you project some sort of a price for this where it can go? Because I can, looks like the base
Yeah,
of that triangle is pretty clear for me. If I, presumed breakout somewhere closer to 30, 34 region. What was on your end?
I'm saying $32
Yeah,
for
mine here
like
looks
up.
34. So yeah, same
Yeah.
kind of range. Looks pretty good. No, I like that. Looks pretty good here.
Yeah, no, I could see that. Yeah. And so a few things here. So we actually do have quite a bit of space within our apex here. So we could just continue to consolidate and move sideways for a while. Now, what I would want to remain above in order to be confident of kind of bullish continuation are these two previous peaks that also coincide perfectly with some fib levels. So I'll actually highlight this so you guys can see this more clearly. So this range here is what I want to remain above if I want to be confident that we could see bullish continuation. If we start to break below this green zone here, again, based off these 2 wicks and these two fib levels, I would start to be worried that the likelihood of further correction is increasing if we break below this green zone. So green zone, major support level, this kind of peak here, this price action here, and this resistance level here are the two major resistance levels. I'll even highlight this a bit more clearly here. So this is what I'm looking out for in terms of band protocol.
Yes,
And
sir.
yeah, no, I think eventually getting into the 30s, if we start to break out, I think in that case is very realistic.
Yes. So we got a couple of questions here. We can see. So can you explain what you're looking for as far as confirmation from trading volume after a breakout from a pattern such as VeChain? Now, just like we were saying, there's a lot of confirmations that you can actually take into account. It's something to keep in mind. We got into, as we started, from back then, with everything, every indicator, we start to look at it, and you try to really add so much into the chart itself. But when you're looking at something like this, and we're trying to find what kind of, okay, so we know at a breakout it's actually going to go up, for example. We know that, hey, maybe is this actually valid? Is this what the whole market's looking for? But in terms of confirmations, really we try to keep it as simple as possible, because you can add so many different indicators right now, and you can add so much to the chart, and you try to find as many, as much as you can in terms of confluence of reasons. But mainly, we just keep it simple here. Me and Brendan, I think we're both on the same page when it comes to that. But VPVR, we just use that to help us identify those highly reactive zones, or where we anticipate this thing to kind of start slowing down. And it's pretty helpful in terms of that visibility and the price action. But as well, MACD, just to show us that momentum, if we're losing it or no, and then the RSI itself. So the final straw, I would say, is actually the volume, because the volume is like all and be all, at least for me. But like that's pretty much it in terms of trying to find that confirmation. Then keep it as simple as possible. But just for VeChain right now, just like we said, yeah, we just need that volume to really be above that average. It is picking up, but you just need to see that explosion in volume. Be like, okay, yeah, buyers are actually in the market. But what do you think, man? What other types of confirmations would you usually take a look at?
Well, look, there's a lot, and confirmation can be subjective. But
Fibonacci.
yes, fib levels, but I think you hit the nail on the head when you said really what you're just looking out for is a confluence of reasons. That's
Right.
why, like, we see, if you ever see our charts, or at least for my, we always have like the MACD pulled up with the weighted MACD, RSI pulled up with the stochastic RSI, because they serve as just further confirmation of each other. So you just always want, multiple things pointing in the same direction. If you have a bullish crossover on different exponential moving averages, that's something to look out for. If we're downtrending and we're constantly seeing macro lower highs and lower lows, if we're forming a pattern, then a breakout, then we see micro higher highs and higher lows, that's kind of a signal that the trend is shifting. So you look at things like price action, indicators pointing in the same direction, volume, different EMAs, fib levels. It's everything. You just want a confluence. The more things pointing in the same direction, the more confident you could be of direction.
Yeah, that's definitely. And then you add, some sort of a risk management to it. If you say, hey, if it goes below this level here where we expect some sort of support, if it falls, then I'm out. It's just there's so many things to it. Maybe at one point we'll do some sort of like a day trading live session here for you guys if that's something that
We
you'd like to
should.
see. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Just let us know and we'll go for it.
Even if there's anything interesting, it'll be interesting because we look, we didn't discuss this, but if there's anything interesting on the chart that pops up to us as a trade, I mean, we could even do this. I mean, I
Yeah.
have another screen, like I could even trade something here live if we see something interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Also, we got what else here? Let's see. Can you explain? Is it too late to invest in VeChain or Cardano? I don't really think so. I think it's the beginning for if you're looking. But when you're saying investing, depends what your investing outlook is. If you're thinking for the next year, 2, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever you're looking at, then this is definitely extremely early. This is really early. There's only 2 point some million in the whole crypto market. 1.2 of that is for Bitcoin, and the remaining is off spread out between all the altcoins, which are we know there's a lot more use case there and more than Bitcoin. But yeah, to me at least, this is still way too early for all these altcoins. But what do you think, man?
Um. Yeah. No, I don't have. I honestly forget the question. What was the question? I was thinking.
Damn. No, they're saying is it too late to invest in VeChain Cardano? I'm just saying.
Oh, is it too late? Look, man. Look, I can't tell you what to do. Everyone's situation is different, but I do think at some point the bull run will come to an end. I think I have a pretty. I think I have a good chance of trying to understanding, of understanding when it could end. And so, I think maybe at some point near the end of this year, the bull run will end. So, whether it's a good time to invest or not, just be aware that I think, there's still plenty of money to be made in the market, but at some point the bubble will pop, and just understand, have that incorporated into your strategy, and just don't think things are gonna go up forever.
Right.
But I do still think there's
Yeah.
plenty of room in the market still for upside.
Yeah, and that's what I said in terms of it depends what investing is for you, because this thing is gonna dump at one point. Then
Yeah,
continue to go
everyone's
back.
situation is different,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Hey, we got a super chat here, Stephen Linear-Gari. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, man.
Thank you,
Uh,
sir.
yeah,
LTC.
yeah, LTC. Ayo, love that. Love the TA, bro. Appreciate that. Let's take a look at Litecoin. So, we don't really talk much about Litecoin, right?
Not really, not
No.
really. And the thing is, it's been around for such a long time. You sometimes forget that Litecoin exists. To be honest.
Yeah, I don't really like it. I'm not that big a fan. They don't have the best use case. They're not really developing a whole lot. Although, hey, as a trade, maybe it can make you some money. So,
Yeah.
oh wow, okay, well, okay, I have something to say. Just looking at a bear chart here. So, okay, examining this price structure, we keep doing the same thing here, which is we impulse retrace, impulse retrace, impulse retrace, impulse retrace, impulse. What have we not had yet? What could we possibly anticipate? Can anyone guess? I'll retrace it.
Oh,
So,
a retracement, definitely.
yeah, 100%. I mean, it's only everything it's done up till now. So,
Yeah.
is this going to continue to go up in a straight line forever without stopping? Probably not. Have we continuously repeated this very obvious, very clear pattern? Yes. Are we seeing a decrease in volume? Yes. Are we seeing long wicks to the upside? Yes. I would be concerned about this thing retracing.
Definitely. I'll just
Yeah.
switch here quick to my screen if you don't mind.
Yeah,
You
please,
can
please.
clearly see that ascending, broadening wedge megaphone formation, whatever, everybody comes up
Right.
with random
You
names,
can,
but
yeah.
it's a pretty clear megaphone formation. You can see how when buyers try to come in, they really push the price up. And then when sellers come back in, they read, it's not as aggressive so more. So you can tell here, I think there's a pretty easy chart to kind of predict. This is one of the, I guess, the easiest we looked at today. But you can see how, we're reaching, we keep pushing up. And every time it pushes up, let's say from back here, let's take the first examples, 146%. Again here, 86%. And as you move upward, this one is 98%. And the last one we had is a 79%. So we are overextended based on this previous historical data. And you can see here that we already had that crazy buy volume happening already 4 or 5 days ago. MACD's all the way at the top. Stochastics all the way at the top. RSI is all the way at the top. I can only see some sort of retracement. And, just to help you gauge, I guess, to help you gauge where these things usually happen, you just take what happened in the first, let's say, this dip over here. You look at it, MACD was all the way at the top, stochastic all the way at the top, so overbought. RSI itself here, the blue one was all the way at the top. Boom, we start retracing. Let's take another level. Let's say maybe this one over here. Same thing. MACD is all the way at the top. Stochastic's been at the top. RSI. So that's the thing. That's what you see again right here. I don't want to repeat myself too much, but same thing. Stochastic, RSI, MACD is all the way at the top, and then the price action has been extended. And this is the same exact criteria we're having right now. So do I anticipate some sort of a pullback? It is highly likely. So it's something to definitely watch out for.
Hey man, look, let's not mince words here. If I was in this thing, I would be taking profits right now. Not Boom. Financial advice.
Boom.
Look, if you're trying to hold this forever, long term, you don't care in the short term, then you keep hodling on. But if I was, not the most hardcore of long term hodlers ever, I would 100% be taking profits here if I'd been in this thing. Because look, we're right up against resistance. We're extremely overbought. Weighted MACD bearish crossover. We're seeing weakness. This just, again, could we break out? Sure, we're in a bull market. Illogical things happen all the time. But I just, I would be taking profits. I'll put it that way.
Hold on, man. I think I see something very, very important here. Todd, I see your messages. 100%. Todd is saying he's been talking about Uniswap, and right now he's kind of losing it a bit. He's saying, I'm telling you, you might want to trade Uniswap. So let's just take a quick look at Uniswap.
Let's take a look.
Let's take a quick look at Uniswap here. I have the chart open. Maybe also.
Okay, yeah. Let's take a look.
Because I feel like Todd is about to beat us up here. So let me just do that real quick. My bad, man.
Well, we had V3 come out recently. I wonder if the market's catching up at all to V3.
So it did break out the 37. For this hovering around the $40 region, and yeah, man, looks like this just break the the high at the $37. Now it came back to retest it. So this could be it, man. He's right. I like what Todd's saying here.
What in terms of what are you thinking? I'm looking at short here, man. To be honest, actually, I don't know. What are you thinking?
No. So what I'm thinking, if you go to the 4 hour, you can see here. Can you see my chart, man?
Yeah, I'm looking.
Are you just ignoring me here?
No, I'm looking.
Okay, so you can see here how we had this for a minute. So clear support here. You can see buyers are coming in, so that's pretty easy to see. I can see also as well here that this is some sort of a resistance zone overall. I would take it somewhere here just to kind of maximize it. And overall, we had that breakout. Came back down to retest now. Looks like it does, it's retesting. I'm not going to say anything besides retesting. All the things that are happening with Uniswap version, 3 and all that. This is looking good. Yeah, you're right, man. This is looking good.
In terms of a trade, this does look interesting.
Yeah.
Now, I see what you're saying on the 4 hour. MACD is kind of moving up here. Weighted MACD is going up. Stochastic's going up. Now, something, I keep saying this and I keep saying it because it's valid. Something you always got to keep an eye out for when you're gauging a potential, pump, a potential breakout. I love following the RSI, especially for forming lower highs, because as soon as we see bullish divergence on the RSI, that's our cue that we could see bullish divergence in price action here. So we can clearly draw a trend line here on the 4 hour RSI. We're continually reacting off this area here. So if we make a new higher high above this white trend line, and that's our cue that we're seeing, strength build up, bullish divergence. And so is this the end all be all? No, but is this one factor that could lead us to seeing some bullish continuation? I think so. So in terms of a trade, I would kind of want to wait to see if we can break above this white trend line here.
Yeah.
If I was looking at a long, or at least it's one of the factors I'd look at.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And even if you're looking at the daily, if the daily actually closes above the current open price, so the open price for the day is at the $40.18. If we actually close above like this right here and continue to maybe push up a bit, we still have 6 hours or 7 hours for the day to close. This is a nice bullish candle as well, But again, we've been losing that steam, so keep that in mind. We've been losing that steam, and you need to see obviously that that volume increase as well. So overall, technicals are telling us that, hey, we're supposed to continue to go down. But then again, when you're looking at some sort of a breakout and a retest, as soon as you're talking about the breakout itself, on the daily as well, because the daily doesn't really catch up that much to the price action or the noise that happens on the 4 hour, for example. You're looking at the 4 hour now, MACD wants to go up, stochastic wants to go up, so it could be pushing up soon by the end of the day. So yeah, daily looks like, still a bit heading towards the bearish side, but sometimes when something, it's a big coin or has a lot of optimistic news and development in the market, fall in terms of the MACD doesn't mean that you're always going to go all the way to the negative. It means that you're just stagnating for a bit. So this could be, it's a nice one. And he just, I guess, Todd's saying it is a trade and he's taking profits. So good for you, man. Good for you. But guys, if you like this so far, man, I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. If you like the video, like it. If you're not a subscriber yet, make sure you subscribe. We're doing this daily. Join our Discord. And what's next here, man?
Yeah, well, guys, if you have any, so we have a bunch of charts, so we can just keep going on and on.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff looks interesting. Kusama looks interesting. Matic Polygon looks interesting. Why don't we maybe hover on Kusama for a second here?
Let's see.
Because look, I like Kusama. All right. And we may be seeing potential bullish divergence. So we kind of are seeing that bullish divergence here.
We are.
With Kusama. So there's a few things here. I think I want to see Kusama get above 450. If we can get above 450, there's a nice, peak in volume here. Sideways price action. Let me kind of highlight a range here. So if we get above this, could we see all-time highs? I think so. At least the likelihood of that increases. It's because we're in this kind of channel, descending triangle, whatever, broke up bullishly and get above major resistance. I think we could retest all-time highs.
Yeah.
So I like Kusama a lot. I own Kusama. So if this breaks up bullishly, could be potential confirmation of further bullish momentum here. So you got anything to add here?
I would say yes. That's pretty clear. Like whatever you have that drawing there, it looks like I think it's a pretty clear bull flag, to be honest. I think we can see that, nice pump upwards, a bit of a, this is typical, I guess, bull flag movement or a breakout right now. You go down to some sort of a channel after a pump in, and then you're assuming that, traders are going to start coming back here as soon as you break above this level and you continue to push back up. And it looks like that's already happening so far. So it's pretty good. This is actually pretty good volume above average for a bit. So still nothing is going on besides the breakout. But once this continues to move up a bit and continues to go above, what was the level you were talking about? Sorry, before?
450.
450. Yeah, we're 40. Yeah, I agree. 450.
Yeah, 450, 451. Yeah.
And then if you're looking at the RSI, man, it's still got ways to go. Because this thing has been consolidating for a while, making it. This is what I like to see, because I want those technicals to go down to the bottom a bit and just get all the selling out of the way. It's a nice, bullish pattern. We know exactly where the resistance is. We know exactly how the support is. It's clearly identified. And RSI, I love the fact that the RSI is still in the neutral, so it's still got some ways to go to the top here. And MACD's been going sideways for a bit, so I would just wait on that breakout, like Brendan's saying, 450. I would want to see some nice volume above it. And I don't want to, the pull for this flag looks pretty long. But if you're looking at some sort of a breakout here, I think it could get us somewhere to the top. But I don't want to get too excited yet.
And look, just based off fundamentals, I love Kusama. Kusama is a fork of Polkadot. It's essentially a lower cap, lower supply version. For projects that want these parachain slots, they need to buy and stake and lock up a lot of Kusama for extended periods of time. So what happens when a protocol is in high demand and there's low supply and a bunch of that needs to be locked up for extended periods of time? What does that recipe, lead to? Success and a lot of pumpage, especially over the long term. So I'm a big fan of Kusama. If you like Polkadot, you should love Kusama. I actually don't own any Polkadot because I own Kusama instead. I think it has a higher ROI potential.
Damn.
Look, folks, we're running up against an hour here. If you like this live stream, do us that favor. Like, subscribe, share. Click on every link down in the description below. If you guys want us to keep going, let us know. Got any suggestions? If not, here, man. What are you thinking here? Should we
I
wrap up?
wanted to talk about, before we wrap up, that one last chart. I got a little excited about it, but with Dex Tool's own token, we've
Oh,
been
let's
using
look.
it. We
Let's take
gotta
a
pay
look here.
homage when it's due, at the end of the day. But
100%.
I'll just switch maybe to my screen here real quick,
Sure.
and then we'll wrap it up. And then at the end of the day, guys, we're gonna do another live stream. So make sure you stay tuned, subscribe. You gotta subscribe. You
Yeah, I'm
gotta
gonna bring you
subscribe to
guys
this.
some low caps in that one.
So again, guys, this is what we're looking at. That's what I was saying. I love when these technicals are all the way in the bottom, and I'm just waiting for some sort of movement. I'm waiting for something, and just looking at the chart itself, I don't really know much on the platform itself besides the fact that they, just the kind of aggregate all this data with the charts and everything. But just looking at the chart itself looks pretty good for me. Looks like if you're looking here, you can see how it likes to push up, have a bull flag, push up, a bit of a bull flag, and push really up, then have a bit of a bull flag. So this bull flag has been going on for a while. It's been downtrending, and even if maybe we go look at the 4 hour, probably paints that picture for you from before. You can see exactly here again, same thing, push up, downward channel. As soon as we break out, go all the way up. So let's just maybe test this, just to not prolong this for long. But if this is the pull of the actual bull flag, it takes us exactly here. Then again, if this is the pull for the bull flag, it's almost the same distance going back up. So right now, from this guy over here, if we're going to the daily, we can see that it's been consolidating for a while, and at one point it peaked at the $1.22, man. It's at 55 cents at the moment. So when I'm looking at this, again, stochastic is all the way in the bottom, so it did find that support recently, higher previous than before. RSI itself, which is here, I'm not sure if you can see it, but let's maybe hide this. RSI is all the way as well, not all the way in the bottom, not that much, but it kind of wants to go sideways a bit. So sorry guys, what I'm anticipating here is sometime soon there would be a breakout to the upside, because we're extremely oversold. So that's the main point I'm trying to make here, is that we are extremely oversold, and it's a very nice platform. It's been making it easy, at least for me, at least for you as well. We've been using it, and as well the MACD's been ticking up. So I would be looking at a breakout soon here. If it obviously continues to go down, that's not good. But in terms of what this is setting up for, I think it's really setting up for a nice movement to the upside. And yeah, it's just something to keep on your radar, basically.
Yeah, and look, again, I'm not familiar with the fundamentals and the utility of the coin. It's always good if a coin has utility and does something, not like Doge. But putting that aside, the technicals do look extremely interesting, because this is a long consolidation, long downward channel. So if we break out bullishly, I think what we need to look out for is, again, getting above this blue trend line, or the one you drew. Kind of, it's really the same thing. It's kind of a zone. And if we can get above kind of 62 cent, very price reactive zone, we have a fib level lining up perfectly with 62 cent. So those are two resistance levels that would get above. That would constitute a bullish breakout. Also, I think this could really start to make moves to the upside, if that happens.
I agree. Man, I really feel like I can keep going here.
No, if you want to keep going, I'm okay. Do you guys? Hey, listen. Let's ask the people. Do you guys want us to keep going here? Do you have any suggestions? Anything?
I saw
you want
H
us to
bar.
look at here?
I saw H bar, whatever they call it here. I'm trying to find it. Are you familiar with it mainly?
H bar. I've heard of it. I'm not too familiar. No.
All right, let's try to pull up the chart. It's still on your chart there. I'll just pull it up.
Let's see. Yeah, let's do a H bar.
Their hash graph.
Some people are saying keep going, but I don't know, folks. We're seeing a lot of vet, folks. We talked about that.
We did talk about it already, man. You should. That's what I'm saying. You gotta subscribe. You gotta
hit
subscribe,
that
man.
bell icon. Yeah. Let's take a look here at H bar. What is H bar do?
So I have it pulled up here. Let me know if man, there's so much to look at. Sometimes I feel like a noob when they bring up something and I don't know what it is. Like, so much. It's crazy. But yeah, looks like we did pump here quite some time. Just looking at very important levels here, and this is just us going in, I guess, freestyling this, but I can pretty much see here. So first step, we'll just look at the side here. The VPVR is giving us the trading activity. I can already see that a lot happens here. So we'll put some sort of a line here, knowing, hey, there's where the some sort of resistance. I can see here that this will be some sort of a support as well. So those, the way I look at it, the more the more extended this is over here, it's telling me that a lot happens. And then whatever we see some sort of a dip is also as equally, I would say, as important, because it tells you that it gets so quiet here that it can stop at that range, right? So you need to keep that in mind as well. And I can see here some sort of a range that we need to, we're still in between. So I wouldn't say we're pushing up yet. I would need it to break above this guy. And not a lot of volume going on, so I don't see a lot of interest yet. I would say to try to find that support definitely at the 27 cents, so that's good. Stochastic RSI here has been wanting to go up, so as well, we'll see how that goes. Still in neutral, not a lot is being said. Stochastic wants to go down, so it tells you that the RSI also as well wants to go down. So looks like we could be stuck in a bit of a sideways action here. That's what I think is the main point. But overall, as soon as it starts going back up above, somewhere close to the 30, breaks above the 30, 32, 34, starts to push back up here. You know what, I'm actually going to put an alert here, man, just to kind of have it on our radar as well. I think this is pretty good. And
Oh yeah.
so as soon as it starts to go back up to these ranges here, that's when I'm actually going to be interested in it, right? So did you have it pulled up on your end?
Yes, I do, and I have a few things to say here. So, I've heard of HFR. I don't know what it does. I've heard it thrown around a lot. If you guys know what it does, let us know in the comments. But look, man, to me, this looks like a potential bull flag. I mean, I think we're in a downward moving channel here.
Yeah.
Right. And I think busting out our Fibonacci retracement is great because we have a confluence of reasons pointing towards this specific range here, kind of 34 and a half cents, 34 to 35 cents acting as resistance. So we have a Fibonacci retracement of 236 lining up perfectly with a peak in volume and a historically reactive price zone here at 34, 35 cents. So I think this is the range we want to get above if we want to see that bullish continuation. If we get above this range, could we retest maybe these peaks here, these upper levels? I think the likelihood of that increases for sure. So this is the inflection point in my opinion. Like, this is what we need to go.
Yes, sir. So I'm seeing a lot of comments here about going over VeChain again. So maybe
sure,
we'll just
let's
do it
take a
for
look.
the people here real
Let's take a
quick.
look.
And so I'll just switch here while you also on your end pull it up. But look, this is what we're saying for VeChain, right? Long story short, you should have subscribed 100%. So besides
100%.
that, it's all good.
Yeah.
We'll let it happen this time. It's okay. But we see exactly here the resistance. VeChain here, if we zoom in a bit, like we were saying, we're expecting some sort of a breakout somewhere at the apex. Looks like buyers were a bit more, impatient and wanted to just break above right now. And that's what the market's saying, because if we're thinking about it, it should have went back down here, right? But it didn't, and now it's pushing back up. So it's breaking the current pattern and it's moving a bit unconventionally. So this is what we're saying on the daily here. If I go back, yes, today is above more than average volume. MACD has been ticking up, so we've been accumulating, we've been losing. The sell pressure and buying pressure has been buying momentum has been going up. Our side itself still got some ways to go up, so we have some sort of space, so before we get overextended on VeChain. So we do got some distance to go up, so that's good. And the stochastic RSI as well. So that's the main thing we're saying here, is that we want VeChain to continue closing at this region. And what do you have to say?
I have specifically 4 things I want to say.
Damn.
4 tangible takeaways.
Let them know,
man.
Why don't you let them know?
All right, so people, listen up here. There's 4 things that we need to know if we want to understand what VeChain's going to do next. Number 1, kind of this zone at about 24.5 cents. We can see there's a peak in volume here, sideways price action. It's where we're getting rejected off now. So I think this is kind of our first major resistance zone that we need to look out for. Number 2, if we look at the daily, we can see that our daily candles, body candles, were reacting fully off kind of the zone at 25.1 to about 25.5 cents. So basically what I'm saying is, if we get a daily candle body get above these regions, that is confirmation that we're seeing something new and something different, and marks, it tells us that we can see further bullish continuation. Number three, in terms of a pullback, because we are up against a lot of resistance here. So let's say we break down. I think kind of our first short-term stop with VeChain is these three clusters of price action here. We can see we got wicked off the exact same regions. So I think that's where we find our support. If we do have a leg down at kind of 22.5 cents. And then number four here is the VeChain Bitcoin pairing. Folks, we need to follow this pairing. We're getting rejected off this cluster of price action here. So if we fall back down and break below our breakout point here, kind of the 3.7 region, that's very bad news bears. That tells us we can see further bullish bearish continuation. But as long as we remain above our breakout point here, I think VeChain is good. So those are the four factors that I'm looking out for in the short term to understand what VeChain is doing.
There you go, guys. So one thing, Rude RUD, thank you. He's saying he mentioned when VeChain was actually previously, we talked about it. So I pinned that message for whoever comes up next if they actually want to take a look at it. So thank you for that. Overall, yeah, this is what we think about VeChain again. So it's pretty good the way things are playing out so far. We still got some time for the day, 6 hours and a bit, but I think if today actually closes around this, it's doing good. That's what I'm saying. It's doing good. VeChain at the moment is actually doing good, and a lot exciting. There's a lot of excitement right now. But then again, we've got to keep an eye out on Bitcoin, see how Bitcoin does the next couple of days. So also please keep that in mind. Bitcoin does affect the whole market, and it most certainly affects VeChain as well. So
all right, man. Yo, look, listen. Stop beating around the bush here. Should we FOMO buy, panic sell? What are we saying? Look, I'm looking to sell my kidney right now.
Look, man. Can I speak for myself? I don't know. I didn't really tell you yet, but
you have my permission.
I put some more into VeChain today.
Did you actually?
I actually did.
Bro, you got to get into deck, man. Get onto the deck game.
I know the deck game. What is that?
Decenter.
Oh yeah, no, I'm waiting on that one. I'll be honest. Oh, let's talk about Decenter, man.
Have we not talked about it?
We didn't. No, we didn't.
Oh, let's talk about it. Yeah, let's talk about Decenter. Okay.
This guy's giving me a hard time, guys.
No, right, okay, look. I'm trying to get Messin on this bandwagon, all right? Not financial advice, but
see, for me, guys, he doesn't say this is not financial advice. He kind of pressures me to buy everything. So there you go.
Oh, yeah, because you're not going to sue me. So
yeah. All right, so I have it open here, but we can start on your end. I just moved it to your end.
Okay, well, a few things here. Number one, we're breaking out bullishly out of our micro descending triangle. All right, and we can draw more of a macro one here. So really, I think if we get above 35 cents and this blue trend line, this thing's flying. Again, that's not a guarantee, but look, we have bullish catalysts ahead of us. For those who don't know, DEC is a kind of competitor, a low cap competitor to Basic Attention Token. They aim to reward you for your attention for using their browser. BAT has a market cap of 2 billion. DEC has a market cap of 20 million, roughly 20 million. So I'm very bullish on this thing long term. They're releasing their mainnet. They're releasing their browser this quarter. Very bullish catalyst, low cap gem. Might break out soon. I like this thing. That's just me. I've been buying the dip on this. I'm trying to convince you to buy the dip. What are your thoughts here?
Actually, yes. I've been. Thank you for bringing it up. Obviously, there's a bunch of things you always bring up, but I'll give you credit for this one big time. So, yes.
Well, when are you aping in, man?
Yo, look. Give me a second, man. So that's the thing. Yes, I think. Look, I'll just switch to my screen a bit.
Sure.
And I'm not sure if you can see my screen or no, but I think obviously we're reaching that apex sometime soon, and could be. I think there could be some sort of another leg down. So that's
there could be 100%.
Yeah, but then again, when I'm kind of that's the FOMO side of me trying to talk, but I think on a very micro scale here, I think we already did that, man. We already did that. So. For this wedge over here. So, obviously we're going to see some sort of retracement here. We're going to see some, but as soon as it breaks above this line, your boy's in. And, I'm already trying to put something in soon here. So, we'll see.
Okay, I got you. Well, I'll hold you to it. I'll keep bugging you. I'll keep bringing it up on the live streams. Yeah. Hey, we got a super chat here by Randall Flag. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Can you look at the Monster B Pro? I've heard a lot about this. I don't know too much. Let's look it up.
B Pro.
B Pro. What do they do? Are they NFTs? M Pro, B Pro, B Pro, B Pro Network.
What's
I've
the
heard
ticker?
of these
What's the
guys.
ticker?
It's how it's spelled. BEPRO.
I see it here.
What do these guys do?
B
I've heard about them.
Bet Protocol token.
Oh, DeFi gaming. Okay.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
for betting, I guess, as well. Could be. I
Interesting.
don't know. Anyways, yeah. I have the chart pulled up.
Yeah, let's take a look.
We'll
Let's take a
just
look.
take a quick look at it. Thank you again, Randall. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the donations. You guys are amazing. Uh,
Oh, this is interesting.
it is. It definitely is. What is it
This,
at right now? It's
well, the chart is interesting. Oh,
1.3 cents. I wouldn't even do this. So yeah, this is the first time we're looking at this, guys. So 100%, we need to just be a bit patient with us, you know. But you know, it looks like we're still stuck in this range. So that's good. Looks we know exactly where the support is at the not even a cent, close to a cent, I guess. So let's just keep it at that, close to a cent. And yeah, man, sometime soon here, this thing is, I would say, the next couple of days, it wants to break out to the bottom or to the upside. I would say we're seeing some of those days that are a bit positive. It's been in the negative, you know, but usually, you know, we see this chart pattern all across the crypto market. A lot of these coins like to do this, really go up and then come back down again, have some sort of a lower high, and then continue to use that as the support or the resistance level. So I can clearly see how as soon as it broke out of this right here, it hit it one time, back in February. First time, second time got rejected, and as soon as it actually broke above it, you can see it probably on the 4-hour chart here. Yeah, exactly. So as soon as we actually went up, broke above it for a bit, it just catalyzed that price movement. So you can tell that there's a pretty reactive zone support. So it's a pretty good support. You can see it already here. And yeah, in terms of it actually moving, I want it to, when it breaks out of this line here, I want it to at least retest this level, just because I don't know, this coin could be a really good coin, but this is just for me. I would say somewhere around the 1.8 cents is pretty good to start. You know, if it breaks above this and starts to push up here, I expect some sort of retracement, and that's when I would start to kind of accumulate back up to those higher levels. So that's my 2 cents on it. I don't know what the MACD's saying much here, but it kind of really looks quiet.
yeah. So
What
we
do you
have a
think, man?
wick all the way up to $98. So I don't know what that is, but we wick we wicked up to $100.
When?
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on there, but it's corrected quite a bit down to a penny since $100. So
I see.
if we bust out, so there's a few things I want to say here. Oh, okay. I love this. Okay. So Fibonacci retracement. We fell to our fib. We held it as support. Bust out some trend lines. I think my chart's slightly different than yours, but we did break out bullishly from one of our resistance levels. But if we take our wick here and bring that to the most recent wick here in the short term, we're still within our pattern. So what I'm saying here is if we can get above this white trend line and get above our wick and get above the 618, this resistance here, 18.5 cent. So basically, if we can get above 19 cent, and I'd just go for it. I'd go even further and say 20 cents because it's a nice psychological level. So if we can get back, get above this white line, this fib level here, and 20 cents, those are three major resistance levels. That would be enough shift in the price structure that would lead me to believe that this could see further bullish continuation. So that's what I'm looking at here with BPRO.
Damn. So next here looks like they want us to look at Trias, TRIAS. Let's see.
Trias.
Trias, man. You gotta get with the program. I don't see
All
here.
right.
Where's it
Man.
listed at, man? Where's Trias listed at?
Okay, so whenever you want to find where something is listed, this is for you, Messi. You go to CoinGecko, you go to
I don't want
CoinMarketCap.
to do the legwork. I don't want to do the
Look
legwork.
up
I'm sorry.
Qcoin. Just on Qcoin.
Q.
What is this thing? 21 million? It's a low cap.
Looks like it's your
I don't like
favorites.
this. It's blown up a lot.
Is
I
it?
don't like it. Yeah, it's blown
Apparently
up a
everyone's
lot.
talking about it, man.
Yeah, don't chase pumps, folks. Not financial advice.
It's $10.44, and damn, what is that? I don't even, man. Yeah. I don't. It's just so hard to keep up with all these different charts, I guess. And everything looks interesting. There's a lot of things that look interesting. But let's just take a look at that. You want to break it down from your end? I found
Yeah,
my end.
sure. Well, maybe we can start here on my end.
Yeah.
I don't like this just because, I have no idea what it does, but it's pumped quite a lot. So again, folks, look, pump dump, or pump correction, pump correction. Some people are weird about that. So we've had a pump. What have we not had yet? A correction. So again, this could continue to rip up. Things do act irrationally. So whenever we have impulses up, we have retracements down. So again, I would be a little bit worried about this. Although if we do fall back down and kind of hold $8.50 in the sideways price action here, that'd be very good, and then we could see a further leg up if we just kind of retest this previous resistance and hold that as support. That could be a very good sign. So that's kind of my first impression here. I don't know if you have anything to add.
Yeah, no, they're saying, look at the volume. The volume does look pretty good, can't lie.
Yeah.
But then again, you gotta always look at what's gonna happen next, right? Because it's overextended. You should also think about the fact that there's so much space here that I can fall down to. But just looking at the chart here, we're looking at the daily. We always start with the daily. There's a couple of things we can say here from the VPVR. So we can identify it's all the way up here. I can already tell, the most reactive levels or more reactive zones are going to be somewhere close to an 8.5. I can see somewhere here as well. And it's before the walls, guys. Before we get to the walls is where you try to, say that this is where the support would be at. And over here, looks like there isn't really much below it, unless if you're looking somewhere here, for example, somewhere at the $8, $8.2. So right now, how much would that bring us down? Almost close to 21%. So it does look good. Is it overextended? 100%. And the daily has been pushing up. Volume continues to go up. We still have 6 hours and 20 minutes. We'll see if the volume. But one thing you got to keep in mind is the fact that, yes, volume does look good, but it's been going down, right? It's been going
Does
down.
it look good? I don't like.
No, as in like that movement, the uptrend it had does look
No,
good.
I understand.
But
I understand, but the people are saying the volume looks good. I'm like,
so that's what I'm saying. It
I
does
don't even
look
think
good. So that's what I'm saying. It does look good in terms of this uptrend that it had, but it's been downtrending. It's been going down a bit, right? So that's what you need to keep in mind. The more the volume, the explosive volume starts to go back down, you need to see here if today actually, 6 hours closes and the volume is lower, then that's just fully telling me that, look, volume is actually, it already had a good time, and volume is sticking down, and that's going to tell us that there's less and less interest in the current trend. So that's what you gotta keep in mind. That's what I was, sorry if I didn't really explain it properly, but that's what I was trying to say. And you can see it properly in the 12-hour, I would say, or maybe the 10-hour. Volume has kind of been subsiding. You can see the average volume starting to, do this a bit. So it's interest is going down for sure in the current trend. And I would say a possible retracement back to the $8.20, 25 cents is I wouldn't be surprised if I see that. And you can already see how indecisive it's getting on a 10-hour, past 10 hours, wicks to the upside, wicks to the downside. Sellers are creeping in slowly into the market. You can see that. Stochastic all the way at the top, RSI is all the way at the top. And let's just see here, for example, same thing, same exact criteria. MACD all the way at the top, stochastic and RSI and the RSI itself are in the overbought region. You have a dip. Same thing exactly here, same thing exactly. So just keep that in mind. It does look good, but I would see its retracement happen for sure.
Yeah, man. Look. We have these impulses up, consolidation period, breakout. Impulse up, consolidation period, breakout. Impulse up. We haven't had a consolidation period. So, again, the macro trend is strong, but in the short term, I think it's likely than not that we have a pullback. Even looking here at the RSI, we're seeing a lower high in RSI paired with a higher high in price action. Classic textbook bearish divergence.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah.
Can I get a shout out or what? 100%.
Yeah,
Nick Collier saying it's a very, very amazing. What do we have here? Yeah, it's a very amazing segment we got, and he really appreciates. He's learning a lot. So, yeah, man, thank you.
Perfect. Appreciate that, man. Yeah.
Make sure you subscribe to the channel, Nick.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll bring you even more important knowledge. It's what we like doing. So, hey, look, BidMoon. Shout out to BidMoon. This guy's dope. He's got a question for us here. Super chat. Atari chart. Atri. So it's ATRI. So let's look that up. ATRI.
Yes, sir.
So I'm not too familiar with this project, but let's take a look. Actually, it's kind of high. It's up there in the market cap. Okay.
It is.
So what does this thing do? Atari's token, entertainment industry. What do you have us looking up, man? Oh, okay. So yeah, let's look up this chart. So It's listed on Uniswap. Okay. Interesting.
You
Okay.
gonna pull up the chart or should I pull it up
No,
for you?
yeah, no, you go ahead. We could do it at the same time here.
Yes. All right. So let me just switch to my end. We'll find it
Yeah,
right
okay.
now.
Yeah, I'm gonna look
And
up Dex, see if Dex has maybe a better chart.
what's the ticker? What was the ticker?
ATRI,
TRI.
Atari token.
Atari token. BC. Yes. Let's look.
All right.
Perfect.
Okay. So, hmm, very choppy.
It is. It's extremely choppy, actually.
I oh, let me take a look at the trading volume. 24 hour.
Yeah, I don't know
Oh
much about this.
wow, the volume is super low.
It is. It is. Sketchy,
That's
man.
it's weird to see super low volume paired with very volatile price action. That's very strange.
Yeah,
That
just
would
not
lead me,
anything can happen, right?
well,
Anybody can come in and move this.
even just first impressions, that just tells me that this is possibly lots of whales are moving this.
Definitely.
There's not a lot of, yeah. Hmm. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, let's begin like charting here. So one thing I can do is I think I can draw like kind of a range here. I mean, this is pretty obvious, but I think it's worth mentioning.
Yeah, and I have a bit of, I guess, a bit of those, bit of that charting already. Sorry, done. But
Yeah, go
overall, you
ahead.
can see it's been uptrending, right? You can see where the support is exactly, and we know where the top is in terms of where the resistance is going to be at. But it's like I'm saying, man, there's not a lot going on right now. Downtrended for the past couple of days. It is extremely volatile. Um, it's going back down to these slower levels. I don't really think I can make much of this, but somewhere close to here, yeah, this is nothing, man. This is nothing. But I'm looking at a hit BC or a HITBC that could change. So I think you got something already there. But yeah, there you go. Same thing, same
I think
exact
we're
thing.
looking at a different
Yeah,
chart. Oh
yeah,
no, or are we? No, we're looking at the same chart.
yeah.
Yeah. So a few things here. I think your slanted trend line does make some sense.
Boom.
Something like that. Yeah, I agree. So, hmm, the way I would play this, because this is so choppy, I think we're these fibs line up pretty closely with where we're finding support on our chop. So I would say if kind of 45 cents doesn't hold here, we're probably testing this blue line. And if that doesn't hold, probably retesting the 618 here, 35 cents. That's kind of the bottom of our chop. So, but really, I think we're just within this super wide range. And I don't this is super volatile. For us
It
to move in
is.
this super wide range, like what's
Yeah.
the market cap on this thing? We're
I
moving at
have no clue, but I
a
got.
yeah, no, this is a $359 million coin, and we're moving within this 100% range. That's crazy.
It
This is
is.
extremely
It
volatile.
is. Now, one
Yeah.
thing, if before we close this, right, one last chart that we've been wanting to show here, right, and we talked about a couple days ago, and it's breaking the range we talked about. So, if you're looking at this BTT, do you remember BitTorrent, the chart?
Yeah,
We're
yeah, yeah.
talking about a couple days ago, not yesterday, I guess the day before, and we had this strange breakout. We're talking about BitTorrent here at the 783 region, and it's been broke above finally above this range. So this looks pretty good. This looks pretty good so far. I don't know if you're looking at the chart, but I'm seeing, look at this volume. Volume came in. We're looking at it somewhere around this region. Volume was extremely slow, but it was actually picking up. And you're seeing, this is what I like seeing. I like seeing a lot of volume, MACD as well, momentum. Selling pressure has been subsiding, it's been going low, and yeah, this is all the technicals are on the bottom. RSI itself still has some ways to go to the top, so we got some distance to go, and we have breakout with the volume itself. Nice 2 days. This is perfect for me. I really like the way it
Yeah,
goes here.
man.
So
Yeah, we were talking about this in our live stream. We were saying this was like a very interesting potential trade. Now, I don't have the chart pulled up on mine, so we can, if you want, maybe just hover on your shit. But
yeah, so this is what I'm looking
uh,
at right now. I'm
yeah,
looking at
yeah, no.
it's on Binance, by the way, if you want to take a look at it. But
Oh, it's on Biden. Okay.
yeah, so I think with this breakout, everything looks good so far. Maybe if we go to the 12-hour, the 6-hour region, this is where it's at. Looks like it does. So it broke above. So this is the range we had. So you wanna have it break above this line, come back down to retest it, and keep pushing up. And if we're looking at the 4 hours as well, looks like, you know, it's been retracing. It wants to down tick a bit. RSI and the stochastic also want to go down every time we have that combination of, you know, lower volume as we move forward. MACD ticking down, and all these guys in the overbought region, we do anticipate some sort of retracement, which is fine. But this is what we wanted to see. We wanted to see a breakout on the daily level, and you'll see here that this candle over here, so we were assuming some sort of a breakout, and we're saying okay, but we still wanted to go above this closing at the 7.4 right here above the closing, and it did go all the way here. Next day blew through this whole range and actually did break above it. So that's pretty good. Break above it and close above it. So you're seeing that's healthy. You got some buying pressure going on so far, and I wouldn't be surprised if this continues to go back up to these higher levels. Right now it's at the so sometime close here. We're gonna keep an eye out on this, but it looks good for me.
Yeah, so a few things here. Number one, stay tuned to our goddamn live stream, folks. We were talking about this before the breakout. Yesterday, we put out a video. It was emergency breakouts and high probability setups. All right, and one of those was BTT. So you know you got to stay tuned. Yeah, and definitely. Then something else I would say here is we have some volume below us here. So yes, I think we could retrace long moves to the upside. But let's say we just so happen to stay above this volume, very good sign. But ultimately, as long as we stay above the breakout point, I think we're still short-term bullish. If we start to break below our breakout point here, that's when I would be worried that the short-term bullishness is no more. But as long as we remain above this green region here, I'm not going to count those decimals. But as long as we remain above the breakout, I think we're good.
Yes, sir.
Which is this green zone here.
Yes,
so yeah,
sir.
No, those are my thoughts.
Look, man, I'm going to be honest. It's been a pleasure, guys. I'm losing my voice slowly, I guess. We need some water. Thank you guys for watching again. If you're not subscribed, make sure you do so. Otherwise, Brendan's going to come for you.
It's literally a financial crime.
It is YouTube a financial crime for sure, man. So yeah, you want to end this, and then at the end of the day here, we'll come back to it and then update the people, you know. So,
yeah. We'll on this. Make sure you stay tuned to the next live stream. We'll make sure we got some very interesting stuff for you guys. Again, just click on every link down in the description below. Share this with everyone. Again, it's a financial crime if you don't. It's not me saying this. It's YouTube. I'm definitely not joking. I never joke. I'm always serious. So those are the things you guys need to be aware of. Thank you so much for watching all your questions. Thank you for staying with us. Until next time, that's it for me, man. Take care, folks.
Have a good day, guys. I need to end this.
Just click the end button. There's a button.
My thing is kind of lagging.
A red button.
I see it. It's just not clicking. This is getting awkward. All right, no, I got it. Peace. Peace out.
Take care, folks.